Good morning, Britain. It's just gone 6 o'clock. Welcome to the programme. Well, what do you make of what's just happened? The lady wasn't for turning until she turned.
Catastrophe, chaos. I think if you are the Chancellor of the Exchequer, then you've got to maintain credibility with the financial markets and with your colleagues. And we saw last week the Chancellor lose the trust of the financial markets and all that chaos and the big rise in interest rates. And then with this U-turn this weekend, I mean, it's a disaster for the Chancellor, because for the Chancellor, you've got to deliver what you promised. And he promised 10 days ago he would do the top 8 tax cut, has to change his mind. But of course, for Liz Truss, she'd always tried to say, I am the new Thatcher. She tried to say, like Margaret Thatcher, the lady's not for turning. And then she's done a U-turn in the first few weeks in office. I mean, it's hard to think of a worse start.
Well, today's main news is that Prime Minister Liz Truss is facing another fierce Tory rebellion because her own backbench MPs are demanding that benefits payments must rise in line with inflation. Let's have a look at the front page. It's a clean sweep of stories that the Prime Minister probably won't enjoy. The Times reports that Priti Patel will warn Liz Truss that her unfunded tax cuts could damage the Conservative Party, which Ms Patel says will live or die by its economic credibility.
The Daily Mail says that even her allies have some stern advice for the Prime Minister, telling her, in their words, to get a grip and stop making panicked decisions.
The Telegraph's front page dominated by the story on the growing backbench rebellion over benefit payments, which MPs say must stay in line with inflation.
And the Daily Star reports on this screeching U-turn made by Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng to ditch the planned 45p tax rate cut, referring to the Prime Minister as a Poundland Thatcher. We're joined by the Mail's Andrew Pearce, Mirror's Kevin Maguire from the Conservative Party conference in Birmingham. Andrew,
I want to look at the voting intentions. My goodness. I mean, have you seen a graph like that recently? Keir Starmer hasn't, and he must be so absolutely puffed up. I mean, but you make the point, Andrew, that actually Keir Starmer is committed to 2 of those tax cuts in that £45 billion package. The piece that you wrote today in the Daily Mail, Andrew, I'm going to read a little bit of it. I'm told she is hurt, Liz Truss, at having to give up such a totemic tax change. As the think tank boss Mark Littlewood said, I've known Liz Truss for many years and I can't think of another time when she's changed her mind on anything at all. Is that the same Mark Littlewood who was at university in the Lib Dems Society with Liz Truss when Liz Truss was a Lib Dem?
Liz Truss, who voted, how did she vote in the Brexit referendum?
She campaigned to remain and then decided to change to Brexit. Has everybody forgotten about these things, these rather totemic beliefs that Liz Truss once had?
It was late at night, he had to write his column, he was banging it out.
She is a lady who's for turning. She is a lady who's for turning.